Hi, I'm Tony Luke Jr. I'd like to explain to you a little bit about what Eat for Peace is and how Eat for Peace came to be. I was born and raised in South Philly. I have a sandwich shop out here called Tony Luke's, and we sell cheesesteaks, among other sandwiches. Well, we decided to open up a store in the Middle East, in a country called Bahrain. Well, the grand opening was coming, and I had to fly to Bahrain for the grand opening. I was very uneasy about this trip. I mean, it was the Middle East. Very, very nervous. I mean, I had all these preconceptions of what the Middle East was and how I was going to be treated when I got there. Well, I get to the Middle East. I'm greeted by the owners of the Tony Luke's out there. And I get to the shop, and I meet the people that work there, and I get to meet the owners. And then people start coming in, and they start buying the product. And I'm getting to meet the people of Bahrain. And all of these preconceptions, all of these things that I thought were going to happen didn't. And it really, really changed me. And it opened my eyes to something. Now, I get there. There's these group of kids, and they're eating at a table. And they're dressed in throbes. And, you know, they're eating the cheesesteak. And they really seem to be loving it and having a great time. It's such a new thing for them that they call me over to the table to explain to me how much they love what they're eating. But one of the kids, who was probably 12 or 13, gets up and he says to me, from my heart, I want to welcome you to Bahrain and thank you for sharing your culture with us. And in his eyes, he was so sincere. These kids were really open. I mean, there was no hatred. There was no political agenda with these kids. These were kids, and they were enjoying the food. And I sat and I talked with them. And we did this thing called a tweet up. A group of kids got together and did this tweet up, and they invited me to their home. And there were kids from Bahrain and Abu Dhabi and Qatar and Kuwait and Dubai. And they had this huge party that I was invited to. Well, they made all of their different specialties. I came in, they gave me a plate, they started feeding me. Food was amazing. And I started asking questions. What is this? How do you make it? You know, where did this come from? What's the tradition behind this? And they started asking me, well, what's the tradition behind the cheesesteak? And all the walls, these walls that were up just went down. And it was like I was in my backyard. It was like I was hanging on the corner and just talking to my friends and getting to know each other. And I was so moved by this. And I just kept thinking, if people over the world would just take a minute to just understand other people, they'd realize that with all of our differences, we're all the same. We want the same thing. We want to be happy. We want to fall in love. You know, we want to watch our kids grow up. We want to watch our kids get married. We want our kids to be happy in a relationship. We want to grow old together. We want to go to movies. You know, it's the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing, no matter what country it's in. We want to be happy. We want to be with our family. We want to love them. And I kept thinking, why do I have this notion? Like, why do I have such a preconception of what everything is supposed to be? I mean, am I listening to the media too much? Am I not experiencing it? And that's it. I'm not experiencing it. I'm just listening to what the media is telling me, to what I'm hearing and reading in the newspapers. I'm not actually sitting down and talking to someone and understanding them and asking questions. So there's a picture of me in the store in Bahrain holding a cheesesteak, and it says, "Yo, Bahrain, let's eat." Someone tweeted, "Yo, Bahrain, let's eat," could be the catchphrase that brings peace to the Middle East. Now, they were joking, but it hit me like a ton of bricks that peace can only come through understanding. I mean, we all know this. This is not a secret. But food seems to be a great way to bring the walls down, to sit and talk and joke and break bread. And then I thought, you know, eat for peace. Eating will bring about understanding, sharing the cultures. Understanding will eventually bring about peace. So I thought, what about a day, a global day called Eat for Peace? A global day where we put all of our differences aside, where we just sit down as human beings because we're all connected. Everything in this world is connected. We're not separate. We're the same. And sitting down, enjoying a meal, and asking questions. So I figured I can't change the world. I'm one guy from South Philly. But you can change the world. We can change the world together. It's a simple concept. Let's sit down. Let's share each other's cultures. Let's start understanding. And I know that we'll find a way to bring peace. You know, these kids, high school, college, grade school, we're in a beautiful time, man, where information is instant. And we can share this. Let's Skype it. Let's tweet it. Let's put it on Facebook and everywhere else we can do it, and show people that the majority of the people that live on this planet want to live together. They want peace. They want to enjoy their life. They want to work together. So on April 11th, I'm asking everyone in the world, take some time out, take a meal, make a meal, invite strangers over, invite people over. Do it outside, I don't care. But bring people from other cultures together. Sit down, break bread, know your neighbor. I'm telling you, you'll love your neighbor. We can make a difference. I can't, not alone, but we can. And that's what it's about. It's about us as a human race getting together, breaking those walls down. So please take the pledge to Eat for Peace on April 11th. Together, I promise you, we can change the world.